Well, I was at West Bromwich Albion in the late 70s, early 80s, 1980, and we got together a very good side, a side that was well in contention for the Championship. I think we qualified for Europe every year. Dave Sexton finished at Old Trafford, and I must admit I never even thought about it. My reading of the script was Laurie McMenemy was going to take the job. I was actually out in America on tour with West Brom, and Frank Worthington flew in. And we're having a drink one night at the bar. He comes up to me, he said, "I know the next manager Man United's going to be." I said, "Well, you should. You play for Laurie." Oh, he said, "He won't take it." He said, "You'll be the next manager." And I started laughing. I said, "I'll behave yourself." And then, funnily enough, next day I had a phone call from somebody, a journalist friend of mine, said, "Ron, you know, there's a lot of talk about you taking the Old Trafford job." I said, "I haven't a clue." Came back, went to Paris for the Liverpool European Cup final against Real Madrid. And whilst I was out there, got a call, would I be interested in going to Old Trafford? And then flew back into Manchester from that match, met the chairman, and that was it, basically. 2 cup victories, they were highlights. Although one of the best nights we ever had was the night here when, and I even know with all the European success the lads have had over the recent years, I still hear a lot of people talking about it. When we played Barcelona here in 84, yeah. And we'd been to the new camp and we got beaten 2-0. We hadn't really played well, but they hadn't played well. There were nothing to worry about, although they got a lot of very good players, like Maradona was playing, Schuster, and a team full of Spanish internationals. Anyway, we got beat 2-0 over there. They got a late goal. One was an own goal and they got a late goal. We come back here, and I always remember Martin Edwards saying, "I think tonight we'll get what we call an old-fashioned European crowd here tonight." There was about, from memory, there was about 60,000 here, and of course they were standing at this end and whatever. And the noise, it was like a shrill. It was just like a constant shrill. And we actually beat them. We beat them 3-0 and won the game, which was a great achievement.
A goal. Robson right on the line. Urruti cleared with the foot. Wilkins and Urruti in trouble. Robson! And the goalkeeper. A chapter of disasters that Robson in the end profited from. And on a night like this, and Orbiston is onside. Whiteside, Stapleton! 2 goals in 2 minutes. It's a glorious night for Manchester United.
There's 1 or 2 heart-stopping moments. Just shows how luck can play a part. I put young Mark Hughes on it, as he was at the time, in the last few minutes, just to go and generally add energy into the side. And I remember he went and smashed straight into one of their players, Carrasco, Spanish winger, Carrasco, in our penalty box. And I have to tell you, it was a penalty, which if they score, they go through on away goals. And for some reason, the Italian referee, it was at the time, the Italian referee waved play, and I couldn't believe it. The worst I've ever felt, you know, as I say, when you get the sack, you're disappointed, but you pick yourself up, whatever. But the worst I've ever felt, quite frankly, was we played Videoton, a Hungarian team called Videoton in the, I think it was the Cup winners. I think it was the Cup winners. It may have been the UEFA Cup, but I think it was the Cup winners. And we'd knocked out PSV Eindhoven, who were a good side. We'd gone to Dundee, who were who never lost a game against foreign opposition, Dundee United, who'd come in and got a fluky draw, 2 each. And we went there, and everybody thought we were just going there as cannon fodder. And we went there and buried them, beat them 3-2, but we buried them. And we had another good win in the tournament. I can't think who it was against. So the worst team we played in the tournament, in the quarterfinal, we played Videoton. We beat them here 1-0, battered them for 90 minutes, and they played everybody in defence. So we go out there, and they scored a fluky, deflected free kick, which levels the scores after about 20 minutes, and then spent the whole game camped in their own half. They went back, they pulled everybody back, and deliberately played for penalties. And it was amazing. We missed, I think it went something like 8-7 we lost on penalties. And the irony of it was our 2 players that missed the penalties were our 2 strikers, Mark Hughes and Frank Stapleton. But they were such a poor side. You know, I mean, I think Spurs played them in the next round or something, beat them 6. Oh, I mean, I think we'd have won it that year, but oh, they were hopeless. We all got on the plane. I remember talking with little Arthur Albiston, and to be fair to Arthur, he said, I always remember his words. He said, "I'll tell you what, we'll make sure we win that FA Cup this season," and we did. That was the year we beat Everton. But that night I'm not even sure we were low. We were angry because we knew that a side that had no rights had knocked us out on penalties. Well, I think first and foremost we had about Liverpool were a great side. Make no mistake, that Liverpool side is as good as any side that's ever been as a club side. They were a great side. And I felt that we'd got about 5 or 6 years to catch up on them. And I always felt we were getting close to them. In fact, we always used to beat Liverpool. It's strange, we could go to Anfield and it wouldn't worry me. I always knew we'd get a result there. If you'd have said two words, I'd say that why they won the championship 4 times and we didn't. 2 words, Ian Rush. I think if we'd have had Ian Rush, they wouldn't have won 4 championships. We might have won 3 of them. We had 2 good chances, I felt. Everybody points to the year we had the very good start when we won the first 10 or 11 games, after 10 games. But quite frankly, funny, the odd thing about that was everybody tended to forget Liverpool also had a very good start. Liverpool were notorious slow starters. That year they had probably the best start they ever had. And then we got beset by injuries, and Robson got injured playing for England, Gordon Strachan, and we had a lot of injuries which were long-term injuries. And then we probably had a group of, I would guess, probably about 16 senior players and then younger players. It wasn't like now where you have, you've got big squads that you can compensate for that. So that was one chance. But I actually thought the year before, 2 years earlier, 1984, I think it was, I thought that was our best chance. I think we had 10 games left. I think we were a point clear of Liverpool. We'd just beaten Barcelona in the quarter-final of the Cup Winners' Cup. And I thought we would just start, we'd been on a big surge. Strangely enough, it had all started from the moment Bournemouth knocked us out the FA Cup. They knocked us out the FA Cup, and then lo and behold, we go and beat Barcelona, and we had a long unbeaten league run. And just before we played Juventus in the semi-final, Brian Robson, who'd been playing brilliant, we're playing Brian Robson then as a second striker, well, as a third striker. We're playing him behind Stapleton and Whiteside, and I think he'd scored something like 12 goals in about 15 games, something like that, and he got the last kick in training just before, the day before we were going to play Juve. And I looked out the window and I saw something happen. I thought, that's strange. And he'd snapped a hamstring. Just training had finished. He was just blasting a ball back to the trainer. And then a few things happened after that, 2 or 3 injuries, and we actually took from that remaining 10 games, and we were a point clear at the time, I think we took 10 points or something, which was nowhere near good enough. Liverpool won the championship and only took 14 points in the same period. They were stuttering over the line. We were stuttering to stay with them. I felt that was our best chance. There's no one I don't rate. I mean, they've got a great squad of players. It's as simple as that. Particular favourites, I'm a big Beckham fan. Yeah, you're just talking Keane, all of them. You are talking some excellent footballers. You can improve any team, but they would have to be top of the range players to improve the Man U side at the moment. I think you'd probably be talking about players that could come in and supplement a great squad. I mean, for argument's sake, like Ryan Giggs has his problems with injuries, and I know, I'd have loved to see him play for Man United this year, and I thought he made totally the wrong move. I'd love to have seen David Ginola come here, simply and purely for when Ryan Giggs doesn't play. And I know he is a luxury, but he's a luxury a great side I think can afford, and I think he would have. I think this would have been his scene, and I think he would have put some stunning performances in here, and I think he'd have responded to that. So I'd like to see somebody like that here, but I think it's very hard to get any direct replacements for the players they've got. A younger Batistuta even now, but a younger Batistuta would certainly have improved the squad. Zidane would improve the squad, and Figo would improve the squad. And probably they would improve the team, in all fairness to them, but they would have to be absolute, you know, I've mentioned three there who are absolute top of the range players who would be in anybody's top four in the world.